One thing that I can say that it's not by choice a young person would wake up to say, I want to be at the downside.
Jerabos, it's an abbreviation from Jerabos. What we currently have in Chingola, these are businessmen. They are stone dealers. They deal in stones. They don't steal from anyone.
The reason why we are called Jerabos because we are dealing with copper. So the moment you begin to deal with copper, here on the copper they will tell you that copper, they will begin to identify you as a Jerabos.
Jerabos means Jerabos because how it started, it was those thieves that used to attack trucks to steal copper, someone's property.
Actually, I used to think like the word you have used. They're criminals, they're murderers, they beat people.
They grab girlfriends on the street.
Yes, that's how I used to think. But relating with them, I've come to understand they're just normal human beings who means well.
This is Chingola, a town built on copper, a town where opportunity once ran deep beneath the ground. But today, for many, survival is no longer found in the mines. It is fought for on the streets. Here, a name carries fear, Jerabos. Some say they are criminals. Others say they are simply young men trying to survive. But behind the name is a deeper story of unemployment, of exclusion, and of a system under strain. Jerabos is not a legal term. It is not a police classification. It is a label shaped by fear, frustration, and experience.
Jerabos is an abbreviation from Jerabos. What we currently have in Chingola, these are businessmen. They are stone dealers. They deal in stones. They don't steal from anyone. These are stones that maybe they mine once they extract some percentage from these stones and then they throw them. So the Chinese of now that we have, they are able to do a continuation from these big mines. After they extract a certain percentage, then they still want to go for that low percentage that is still left. So these stone dealers that we currently have are going up and down looking for this waste.
For some, the term is exaggerated.
Jerabos number one, Bantomo are very responsible son because Mukasanga Tabing, Kunonga Marolisha, they've got families. Here on the copper belt, especially here in Chingola, business here Chingola, way back, it'll survive through the same people called Jerabos. So which shows that Jerabos, they are not criminals. They are just normal people like any other people.
For others, it is misunderstood, but for many residents, the fear is real. Take the case of 41-year-old Matthews Mtambo, known as Machen. In a viral video earlier this year, he threatened security officers at Sensele. What some dismissed as attention-seeking was later ruled by the court to be capable of causing public fear. In February 2026, he was sentenced to 36 months in prison. For residents, it confirmed something disturbing, that beyond the label, there is behavior that cannot be ignored. Her son has been in detention for nearly 7 years without trial, she says. For families like hers, this is not a label, it is a lived experience.
Was shot on the 6th of March 2026 around 22:30 at National Trading Area along Bondo.
Walaila njira kuvuta rairombira kuve kubuteko bulonekeshe pali security ya Chingola koza abantu bafa bafula
info twapokerera sana info shakwe bati abantu bari fane mfiti ngachakwe bati buteko kuswa twafa ko kusali enforce security baba kofe yaba kofe tight.
From katika the opportunity yapo bati nangu choranda na shani ama chito yaribulirwa turekala funyisha.
In Chingola, that frustration has spilled into the open. In recent months, unrest broke out following confusion over access to Sensele mine. Roads were blocked, businesses shut down, communities paralyzed. At the center of it all, young men demanding access to copper, not as a crime, but as survival. Residents describe a pattern of events. But the label, Jerabos, often hides something more complex. An informal economy, one that operates just outside the law.
We cannot rely on undercover economy, because if we rely on undercover economy, Zambia will be, Chingola will be ungovernable. We have issues to do with, like the same way they were doing things. It is not in order. We all see, they will start now ruling. So, and we have the constitution. So what is important is for people to do the right thing. I'm advocating for them to do proper mining, where they need to be given even dumps, but they need to do it in a very proper way, so that even the local authority can be getting something.
What with him?
To understand this story, you have to follow the copper. With access restricted at formal mines, many tend to discarded waste. But reaching these sites is not straightforward. We were advised not to go alone. To access the dump sites, we had to be escorted by one of the men working there, commonly referred to as Jerabos. These spaces are tightly controlled, and outsiders are often viewed with suspicion. Residents and miners say groups here defend their territory, and approaching without introduction can quickly lead to confrontation. For us, access depended on trust. At the dump site, we meet 61-year-old Nelly Mumba, one of the many working here to make a living.
Ngomba ni pilapini tumawuchelewa nututumika nakari kwa mabwe aingia kutupikia kwa kulisha sana basi kunaona bomba kwa sikiezi.
Here survival is manual, unpredictable and dangerous. Some start as young as 10 years old. But those doing the hardest work are not the ones making the most money.
Muliriribwe nga kyakola kitwabula eriribwe twalitwala kukitisha tamuli fena ngu kimwe kiri muliriribwa.
The real profits lie further up the chain.
From the dump site where we come from, some of those low-grade copper, they usually come and sell it here in Moiseni. There are some industrial areas like where we are right now. This is where they come to sell the low-grade copper.
In response to rising tensions, a multi-million-dollar arrangement was introduced. Its goal: remove Jerabos from Sensele mining site. But on the ground, many ask who benefited and what changed.
Praise be to God. Here we are. It solved very little. We knew it was going to not to solve the problem. So question is, what did it do, that money? Has it empowered them? We have no way to check. But what it did, it spurred the economy of Chingola. So the economy, $4 million is big money. So Chingola became active for a short while. I don't know if it is by now, but I think for that period when they were getting, they went in the bars, they went in shops, they did what they could. But that's a temporal measure. So our core, the core we have even in now, is to work with the government of the day. That's what we are pushing, so that KCM can give out at least one or two other dumps, so that these guys can be diverted there, because leaving them like this, they will become a terror. So this is where we are. So we pray and hope that through the influence of the government, maybe something can come. That's how we are going to address the situation. Otherwise, we are sitting on something terrible. They lived on scavenging from those same dumps in the MMD government, the PF government, and even in the European government, through regimes. So, governments, I would say, were not solving the problem. They were doing it for political appeasement, especially when it's going towards elections. So when elections were first, sometimes they were removed, they were thrown out. But the elections near, then they'll come, oh, we have given you this, we'll do that, and so forth. So the Jerabos, so to say, they ran the economy of Chingola, especially in the time when KCM was sent into liquidation. Chingola would have been a ghost city, a ghost town.
In whatever that we do, there are moments, time, when we need to start doing things in a methodical manner. We will appreciate and we shall support anything that they are going to do in a proper way. We don't want our people to be dying at the expense of illegalities. If somebody goes to do the mining, they need to get back so that they can enjoy the money of the family. Also, government has to get something.
Across Chingola, efforts are emerging. Youth programs, community interventions, but many say they are not enough. Because this is no longer just about crime, it is about a system where opportunity is scarce and survival is contested.
With the help of other friends, we gathered ourselves and said we need to put up something. So Chingola Youth Association started operating, targeting young people that are transitioning from secondary school, transitioning to the society, because we realized that a common practice which was in my Mpala, I would say Lulamba, and other part of Chingola was that if a young person graduates from secondary school, then they live in stagnation in the community. They more especially men used to end up being involved in illegal mining.
Some of the voices in this story are now stepping beyond the conversation and into politics. For them, the issues surrounding Jerabos are not just social or economic, they are political. Questions of opportunity, of access, and of who gets to benefit from the country's resources.
So bayuthi abalaba kwat experience muni kopochi walefuaika bwafuirisho okufuma kuri government na kuba kubapanda amano ifi yakwikala echo inemberere ko inengane king for dikapokonda ndiro kwatukula kumusumba watu atasha ko ariyo ba Jerabos balaba Jerabos babako inocho ndefu okumono kuya kuntanshi ubuteko na buleta kale police yako bati balepera matizano mining license so inero na bakansera kulya na laita balaba Jerabos bonso kwatire kenyu kwenda okama street kula ilishanyo kwa tubuteko tabule myafwa iseni twikala hapa necho tukachita kuwa pangira cooperative nokubafu okubalanga enshira iya kupokera mining artisanal license so that ngabasanga pali kopa bambo kulabo mba munshire yene.
It's not about my needs when I'm voted as a mayor. It's about people's needs that I'm going to save and be used as a conduit pipe to give them, to build Chingola to where it's supposed to be.
Whether that shift will translate into change on the ground remains to be seen. In Chingola, copper still defines life, but for many, it no longer promises prosperity, only survival.
The main thing here in Chingola is the mining. Mining, that's what keeps the town running. Yes.
Also, Minister